Prime Minister George Papandreou and German Chancellor Angela Merkel met yesterday and discussed the course of fiscal adjustment program for Greece, as well as the realization for announced measures. The meeting was especially significant in light of the fact that on Thursday, the German Bundestag will vote on the European Financial Stability Facility, the EFSF as we know it. Now, on the line with us now is Detlef Guertler. He's a German journalist and author who spends a lot of his time between Germany, Switzerland, and Spain. And he has warned fellow Europeans about the perils of an increasingly confident Germany in his book, Sorry, I Am German. Now, what exactly was discussed between the two leaders, and how did the media in Germany see this?
Well, they didn't really tell us what they discussed, but I think that was not the point. It was just a great show. We have seen a wonderful performance of Hervé Papandreou as Angela Merkel, as all the other participants in this day, and that's what we have seen in the German media today. It was so charming. Head off for Georgios Papandreou. He has made just brilliant. So at least we think we could have confidence once again in Greece, and that's more than everyone here in Germany expected.
So, well, did it sound believable? I mean, you sound like this was a show, but was it a believable show?
I'm rather convinced there's a big cultural difference between the Southern Europeans and the Northern Europeans, and part of this is what I call the grandeza culture, grandeza from the Spanish, where you're able to impress people by telling things that you know it's a lie, but as you tell it, you're so convinced of yourself that, well, the others believe, at least if the others come from Northern Europe. Because in Northern Europe, we just don't have this kind of culture. So if there's someone coming and says, yes, we can, we are on the right track to get back to growth in Greece, we are on the right track to restructure our society, our administration, and so on, we in Germany believe that he just thinks what he says. Well, rather in doubt if Papandreou really thinks that he can turn the ship, he can bring the change to Greece that is necessary, but at least he told us. And, well, we wanted to believe it, and so we believed it.
And that was the climate with the German industrialists as well, then?
It was marvelous. I don't know when Papandreou the last time had such an applause. Everyone in the audience just loved it. And he got a lot more applause than Angela Merkel, who spoke directly after him. And so we want to believe that it will work, and just to bring it a bit away from the show, from the performance aspect, it's all about we in Europe will manage it together. And we have seen rather big tensions between Germany and Greece especially, and as well between the north and the south of Europe, and a lot of infight. And now there is some kind of way, we call it the EFSF, and this somehow will stabilize our European economies. I don't think it will do it, but it's the only thing we have now. The task is to bring this EFSF through all the parliaments of the Eurozone.
Rumors of the strengthening of the EFSF were scotched by Angela Merkel a little bit. She seemed to be not so willing to speak about perhaps refunding or reinforcing the EFSF. She is playing this for her audience, for the vote tomorrow, or is it actually that she has decided not to jump aboard the EFSF bandwagon?
A very interesting question, because we all know from the economist part that the EFSF must have a lot more firepower than it has now, or than it should have after we've gone through this legislation process we are just in now. It should have much more. You can't tell it to the parliament. You are voting now about 400 billion euros, but within 2 months we are talking about 2 trillion. It's better to say nothing about it, just to be not too clear, not too concrete in how big the EFSF and how big the firepower should be, and how big the amount the German taxpayer at the end has to pay. That's what we call firepower here. And that's hard work for her, just to show some commitment about what we are discussing now, what we are voting on now, and on the other way, not closing the door to further measures that will be necessary, because we know that the restructuring of Greece is not just at the point where it should be, as well as the restructuring of the Eurozone is not at the point where it should be. Papandreou is a bit late in his homework, and Merkel as well is a bit late in her homework. So as we are all trying to find a way to get along with it, it's difficult. difficult for her and difficult for him. And I think he has done the best he could yesterday. So if he returns to Athens, just give him a bit of the applause he has got in Berlin.
So is this vote tomorrow, is this a make or break vote for Angela Merkel?
Yes, she needs a majority in the parties of her governing coalition. It's her CDU, CSU from Bavaria, and the FDP, the Liberal Party, just about to be eliminated. It's not clear now if she will get the majority. The chances are better now, and they have become even better with Papandreou's visit in Berlin. I couldn't believe before that visit of Papandreou in Berlin would improve the chances of passing the EFSF bill. But yes, if she doesn't secure her own majority in Parliament, then it's clear for her and for everyone here that the governing coalition is at the end, and that there's something else has to happen, the change of the ruling parties or new elections or something else. She needs the majority. I would say about 80% is the probability that she will get it, and she has one more day where she works hard by convincing everyone of the voters who is in doubt if he should vote yes or no, to convince them in personal phone calls and so on.